Hey, what's going on everyone? Moose here, and today is the day. We are going to be, well, I already have, but here's the intro. I've already installed the Aftermarket Assassins Stage 1 locked and loaded kit. And so that is the clutch and the tuner. But check this video out and let me show you guys exactly what a difference this makes. You're going to see a couple of short clips in the beginning. Bear with me. I assure you it is worth your time to watch this. You're going to see what it's like on stock tires, stock Maverick, and then what happens when I put the 32-inch tires on there, and then what happens when I add the clutch and then the tuner. It is amazing difference. Unbelievable. So, and along with that, I'm going to show you guys how I installed this, and we're going to go from there. So stick around, grab yourself a soda or a bourbon or whatever you drink, and check it out. Thanks. All right, so here we are. I'm just going to show you guys. It's eco. We're going to go to sport mode. We are in four-wheel drive. You can see the four tires, and we're going to go into high gear, and let's see what we can do. I'm just going to show you guys what this does with we only pulled like, I think it hit 6,600 for a second. So that's 61, 62. Seems a little low. So we probably need some clutch work as it is, because that is definitely low. On dry pavement, I'll get, usually in two-wheel drive, this thing will buck up to around 7,300 RPMs. So let's go back out here. I don't want to get too far out on the trails. Yeah, I'm hitting around 62 in four-wheel drive. Now, if I take it out of four-wheel drive, now we're back in two-wheel. Let's see what we get. Yeah, see, I was getting, it jumped up to about 7,000. But it's definitely not doing what it should. And now keep in mind, look at the mileage, 9,332 miles. So 9,332 miles. You know, it definitely needs some clutching no matter what. So we'll be back in the next video and we'll talk about what we're going to do on 32s, and then we'll show you the difference. Alright guys, so we're back out. We put the 32s back on the machine, and I just want to show you guys the RPMs that we're getting. This is pre-clutch, but just to show you guys. Two-wheel drive, and it's a little slick. So let me put her in four-wheel. It's not gonna help our cause much, but it'll get us up there a little bit. But just to show you guys, so up there, she'll jump up to, 68, close to 7,000. But then she really dips back down. She won't maintain those high RPMs. It's just too much on the unit itself. But I just wanted to give you guys a basic, you know, kind of, I don't know, just a basic understanding of what we're getting, you know, full throttle, between the stock tires and then the 32 carnivores. I think this is going to be a huge improvement, and we're going to start with the clutch kit. And why don't we head over to Matt's right now? Okay, so we have our cover off. We have our clutch tool installed, 10mm wrench, and we're going to go ahead and start, oops, cranking this puppy. Oops. Real life problems, people. You know, I love the guys that edit that part out, and I'm like, dude, just go with what you got. I mean, we're human, it happens, blah, blah. Just let it happen. So I did order one of the quick change tools with the bar to utilize. I really don't like the way this thing kind of digs into stuff. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I think it's kind of, I mean, in a pinch, does it work? Yeah, you know, but is it ideal? Probably not. You know, there's a lot to be said about using good tools and things of that nature. All right, so go ahead and got that loose there. Oh, come on, come on. Like I said, real world problems. Come on, get out of there. Maybe I should have went, there it goes. All right, so let's go ahead and take her out the front clutch as well. I want to keep my belt as straight as possible. I don't want to put any twisting on it. And you guys can see I have my arrows facing forward. We're going to keep them that way. So I'm going to take my belt, I'll place it up here on the back of the unit, and we're going to loosen this back out. Let's see if we can do this a quick way. Oh yeah. My fingers are just about numb. Good thing we're going back in the house soon. Now I've seen there's tools out there for the next step. We're gonna, I don't know, maybe I'll go get a screws in my driver and see about maybe bracing this thing a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. But when we put the impact on it, it's obviously gonna try to turn, so we don't want it to do that. So I'm gonna actually cut for a second. I'm gonna go grab a tool real quick and just kind of prop this so it doesn't spin. Actually, I'm gonna try to find something that won't. I guess this helix is shot anyway. It's actually got some grooves in it. If you guys saw my original video with Matt over at 222, you can see there's like grooves right here. Those are gonna be gone. So give me a second, we'll be right back. All right, so we're back. Got my 17 millimeter impact socket. We're gonna stick this on our impact. The juice is at 3. So what I did was, I have this long extension handle I've used for years, and it's not a big deal, but we're gonna make sure we're on reverse. I'm gonna go ahead and stick her in there, and that's it. Simple as that. There you go. Don't forget your washer. And also, something to really keep in mind is there's an indent. You guys see that right there? Like there's like a step. You definitely want to keep that in the same orientation. Now, we should be able to remove our T-handle tool like I was referring to, and this should just slide off. And there it is. So let's get this thing into the house, and we'll go ahead and break her loose, and we'll start installing some of the other stuff that we have. I'm probably going to just kind of wash this up, clean it up a little bit. Just gonna use some brake cleaner and just get it a little better than this. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, so here we are. We're back, and we have our Aftermarket Assassin's clutch compression tool, which is just a threaded rod, a couple of washers, and a couple of nuts. I was going to build one myself, but to be honest with you, dude, look, just buy the stuff that we know is the right length. Everything's good. You don't have to worry about it, blah, blah. So we are going to take our clutch, flip it upside down, and drop it onto here. We're going to take our washer and our nut, and we're going to hand tighten this down. I mean, you want it to be holding. It doesn't have to be, you know, like crazy, like holy crap, it's not gonna hold kind of way, but just nice and snug. T50 and an impact, and we are going to turn up our power. There we go, there's one. And we are going to be reusing these, so don't get rid of them. And let's see here. Oh, come on. What the heck? How did that? What? So I don't know if this thing's been apart before, but this T50 does not want to go down in there. Interesting. I mean, thank God they're bolt heads as well, but it just doesn't want to sit in there. I thought it was sitting in there. It was in fact not. Nope. All right, let's stop. Let me go grab a socket. I'll be right back. All right, so one thing that I didn't talk about is these being marked. Mine were actually already marked. Like I said, it was apparent that somebody else had been back in here prior to me getting this machine. They've obviously taken this clutch apart. You know, it's got 9,300 miles. So first thing we're going to do is go ahead and remove this center cap and adjustment from the helix itself. Just a T30. And then these should come apart. Ta-da! And now we've got our helix. Now we are going to mount this thing back together, and I do have my marks aligned to where they were marked prior. So we're going to stick this in here and get these marks lined up. We're going to take our big Torx bolts and put them back in there. I do need to run out and go grab my torque wrench. These need to be torqued to 45 foot-pounds. So I'm just gonna set this right here for a second. We're gonna start off and just use setting 1 on our impact. Just to kind of get these and then let me go out and grab my torque wrench real quick, and probably should have just done this all in one shot, but hey, once again, I'm human. So give me a second, we'll be right back. There, we're gonna stick around the old torque wrencher. There it goes, 45. And there it goes, 45. So 45 foot-pounds, And now, one thing that they talk about at Aftermarket Assassins, and if you've seen their video, you guys know that when they put their helix back together, they actually do it on the machine. However, I really want to do it on here. So, let's give it a go. Alright guys, so we're back and we've got our other tool. This is our other compression tool. And we're going to start out by placing our spring into our clutch, and then we're going to take our cap here and we're going to line up C to this other post. And I can see it. It's fighting me. It's really fighting me. Come on. Where are you at? There you are. Okay, come on. Come on, C. Get in there. This is awful fun. There we go. Alright, so now what we're going to do for reassembly is it comes with this tool here. And there's 3 posts on this cap that line up with that. We're going to take our threaded rod tool and we're going to run this into our centerpiece there. And Aftermarket Assassin says to bottom this thing out into our internal threads, which we're going to shoot for here. Kind of doing this with the nut on, but I'm really trying to turn the rod, not the actual nut yet, just to get that threaded in there. Alright, and we're just gonna push on this with our hand and just kind of get that rod really threaded in there. I definitely don't want any issues. Alright, so let's see. I can probably even go a little bit further. This is kind of tough by yourself. And he talks about that in the video. Alright, there we go. So, now what we're going to do is start threading this rod to bring these 2 pieces closer together. We'll try to speed this up or cut it out. He actually used a ratcheting wrench. I have one. I just figured, you know what, I've already got the adjustable here. Who cares? I did leave my little washer on there as well, just so you know. So that way the bolt doesn't, or the nut doesn't mess up my adjustment tool, because you may need this adjustment tool in the future. It's definitely something that you're gonna have the availability to do. Now, in their video, they talk about this at some point is going to get to a point where this center cap is just about to close down on this on your helix. We don't actually want it to necessarily bottom out in there. We just want to get it so it's just about there. So right now, if I pull my helix, there's a very slight gap. This thing will still turn. It's not seated in there per se. Now, next thing that we're going to do is over here, you'll notice that my screw is actually in the center there. We don't actually want that. We actually want to do this a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this packing material. You guys might be like, what are you doing with packing material? Well, watch when I show you. We're going to actually use it with our our tool that we used earlier to lock this thing into place. So this way I can stick this up inside the helix and hopefully not mark up my helix when this thing goes to turn. Because, and you'll see here, I'm actually going to take this and grab onto my outer ring, or my tool itself, and we're going to turn this thing to position 1, which is right here. However, and we're going to do this just to kind of show you guys how to be able to adjust this. So we're going to stick that in there, start turning it in a little bit. I'm actually going to grab my T30 Torx driver and just take the pressure off, and then we're going to screw this in. Now, I can save a step at this point by continuing to rotate this to 3, to 4, to 5. Oh, and I lost my grip. Nice. All right, let's try that again. Because I actually want to be on position 6, which is what Mike at Aftermarket Assassins told me I want to be at for my machine. So we're going to try that again. And I'm going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to set this thing in there. So you don't have to tighten it up all the way. We're just going to use it at this point to hold our position, right? So now I can find my other screws here, and we're going to put this one in to position 6, and I'm going to use this just a little bit because it feels like it's on a little bit, there it goes, a little bit of tension, and I didn't want to kind of groove into that aluminum per se. And I'm going to take my last one. Now don't worry, I know there's some of you guys that are like, dude, the Loctite, the Loctite. Yep, I'm going to get to it, I promise. I am definitely going to get to it. Because right now I just want to get this thing set up to where all these are in there for the final step, right? So now I have all these in there. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to this point and I'm going to compress this center piece into my helix. And at the same time, I want to keep moving these screws in so that they don't pop out of their alignment, right? You can see that they're loosening up. We want to keep them together. So I'm just going to go around and tighten them in there a little bit more, and then we're gonna continue with mating these surfaces together like so. All right, so that's bottomed out. So I'm gonna go ahead and sink this one down in there. All right, so it's nice and snug. So I did try to do this on my bench, and to be honest with you, I'm glad that I stopped because it was kind of annoying. It was very difficult. Mike has a great video out there on how to do this on your machine, and as you can see, this was very convenient, very easy. We got our blue Loctite, and I'm really glad that I went this route because this was actually relatively easy for me to do. We'll put a little dab of blue Loctite on there and stick our screw back in hole number 6. And then they made reference to basically about 7 foot-pounds of torque So we're just gonna moose it. Click, click. There you go, 7 foot-pounds. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one here. And we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of blue Loctite on there again. And set this in. I am so excited, guys, to see how this thing does. As soon as we're done doing this install, we're gonna take this puppy out immediately and we're gonna rip it around a little bit in its current configuration. We're gonna do a click, click. There you go, 7 foot-pounds. And then from there, we're going to add the power vision. So we're going to get the tuner in there. We're going to put the Aftermarket Assassin's tune in there, and I think we're really going to see this thing just light up like Christmas. So I'm going to put a little blue Loctite again. And I did go up to the store and get some brake cleaner. So I sprayed this thing off. I didn't scrub it. It's freaking freezing cold out. I really don't want my garage smelling like brake cleaner either. So it is what it is. But I did get a lot of that dust and nastiness off. So here we go. Click, click. Nice. And then the next step is to go ahead and back this off. So I'm just going to grab that, start turning. And it shouldn't take much. You can see that it basically came right loose because now the center cap is holding this on. So we can go ahead and unthread our rod. Pull that out. We got our 17 millimeter. And this is approximately 52 foot-pounds to torque spec. So that's what we're gonna go with here. Oh, doesn't like it. He didn't like it. So we're gonna try to do this by finger, which probably ain't gonna happen. Oh, maybe. Nope. Come on. Come on. Oh, you son of a gun. There it goes. Now you notice I'm starting this thing by hand. You never want to start these things by an impact or anything else. Man, you want to talk about having problems? Try it sometime. Let me know how it works out for you. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust my torque wrench up to 52 foot-pounds. And we're going to go ahead and put this in there. Oh, come on. Nope, didn't like that. Oh, definitely didn't like that. Didn't like that holding. Come on. Oh, boy. Now I got that thing stuck in there. Either way, you get the point. We're going to torque this thing. We'll be right back. All right, guys. So here we are. We have the Aftermarket Assassin's clutch in. I have the tuner up here. However, we have not tuned this yet. So there's a reason for that. And that is because I want to show you guys just the difference. Now I'm in sport mode. I think when we tested this, I was in eco mode. So we'll go back to eco. But you're going to notice right away, difference in RPM. So I'm peaking right around, I don't know, I'd say I'm probably peaking at about 7,800. And so far, I mean, I dig it. I'm really impressed with just the response in the throttle. That's definitely one thing I'm getting is definitely more throttle response. You step on this gas and it wants to go. You know, it's nuts. So we're gonna run this again up here. We're gonna go back to looking at this. I'm gonna do about we are in 4-wheel drive. I'm gonna get up here a little bit more. I'm gonna roll down to about 5 miles an hour. Should be about like that, and juice it. Let's see what we get. So that was eco mode. So let's see what we get in sport. So I feel like I got better in sport. Go and go to sport mode. Now we're in sport. So we're at about, it's like we're hitting about 72 in 4-wheel drive. I don't know, you know, I mean, there's probably some more that I could do, but this is definitely much better. Definitely much more traction, or, you know, throttle response. So we're gonna run back to the house. I'm gonna flash this ECU, put the Aftermarket Assassins tune in it, and we're gonna really see what this thing will do after that. So stick around.